Hello and welcome to Monopoly and ESO. So I wanted to show off the house, but I'll also explain how to play the actual game. This is something that can be replicated if you want to take the time to make it yourself. But this here is the entrance. And as you can see, you come up the stairs and you're greeted by Mr. Monopoly himself. I decided to put him as the entrance here because he just didn't really look that great in the middle of the board. Now as we move forward, as you can see, we have the go square up here. And I'll let you take a look kind of at the board. I'm going to explain how some of the mechanics of the game work, and then we'll take a quick tour around the board so you can see each square individually. So first off, when it comes to rolling, we use the random roll in the text chat options. You just take the first number for anything above a 9. Anything 1 to 9, you just take that number. So for instance, if you roll a 27, you'd move 2 spaces. If you roll a double, so like 11, 44, 77, whatever it is, or 100, you get to roll again. However, if you roll 2 doubles in a row, or 2 hundreds, you go straight to jail. So just for an example here, you can see that I rolled a 56. So I'm going to make my way across the side of the board 5 spaces. And as you'll see when we get to the end here, we're going to be just visiting the jail. You can check in on your friends that maybe haven't been playing the game quite as fairly. Ultimately, each side of the board has 6 spaces on it. If you do it yourself, you can certainly do 7. This just worked best for me with the space that I had. The game can be played by either individuals or groups. There's space for 4 teams. The orbs here change to 5 different colors. I use the white color to mark if the property is still for sale or hasn't been bought by any team. And then you can see the orbs change to 4 different colors. You've got red, purple, yellow, and finally green. Now for houses and hotels, I use the Necrom monuments. Now it's really easy to be able to adjust while you're actually playing. If you go to your precision editor, make sure you have the 100 option for the units, and then you just want to move the small ones either up or down 1 and the big ones up 2 times. This makes it easy to be able to show whether the houses and hotels have been bought on a property. Teams are given a certain amount of gold at the start of the game. And just like Monopoly, they'll take turns rolling, going around the board, and buying property, paying rent, getting more money for pass and go, and most importantly, going to jail. There are a few differences. For one, instead of there being chance and community chess cards, we have 4 short mini games around the board to take their place. At the end of time, what I usually do to determine a winner is give each team the gold that their properties and houses are worth, plus the gold they already have for the game, and the team with the highest amount wins. Now, if you want to be there forever, you can play until the very end, but just like Monopoly, it can go on for quite a good amount of time. Now I'll do a quick tour of the board, and at the end I'll build up to try to get the best picture I can from above. But because you'll see it, and I'm not sure I'll be able to get a great angle of the whole word in the middle, the board says Monopoly. Our guild is New Moon Rising, so in a stroke of genius, I combine the guild's name and Monopoly together, and boom, Monopoly. I know, it's impressive. So starting here, if we go from go in the right direction, we're going to start with Cold Harbor. Most of the squares are simple, just enough to give an idea of what zone or activity it is. If we ever get more slots, I'll probably come back in and do a little bit more in depth on each one. Next up, we actually come to our first mini game, and it's simple. There's 4 doors, you pick a door that you want, and there's 4 prizes behind each one. Some good, some bad. Let's open a door here. Oh, and you see you have the mini statue. If you get that, you get to place it on any property that you own to boost the rent. Next up, instead of railroads, I decided to go with different activities that are in the game. So these are the incursion type events: geysers, hailstorms, and vents. Same thing as regular Monopoly. The more activities you own, the higher the rent is if someone lands on one. Next up, you have Clockwork City, with a little bit of Dwarven mixed in, just to give it a little bit of life. Then when you're visiting jail, you'll be able to see that like any good jail, we have a guard as well as traps for anyone that tries to escape. And on the inside, we have all the essentials: a bed, bucket, best friend, and you can even learn to scribe while you think about your life choices, as well as a window to talk to people just stopping by to visit you. Once you leave the jail, you'll see that we come to Necrom. Then as we move past Necrom, we're going to come to the Undaunted and Trial Activity Square. This is marked just by the different busts to try to give an idea of what it's supposed to be. Then you see we come up onto Elsewhere. Got our little dragon friend flying around just like Northern and Southern Elsewhere. And now we come up to our second mini game. It's also pretty simple. I'll go into one side and a member of the team that landed there will go into the other. And they'll try to match the pattern that I have in my room. So for example, I'll hit these two and go check their side. So they would have gotten 3 right because they have one that's on that I also had on and 2 that are off that I also had off. Next, we have free parking. We do a roll for gold with a 100 or a 1 getting you a free house for any property that you own. Let me turn the lights on real quick for the car. Then we'll move over to our high aisle square next. And then we move to another one of our activity squares. This one is PvP. Got our little ballistas and oil pots and wall here. And our next square up is going to be our next little mini game. This is Sky Darts. As you can see, we have a board here, which can be moved or stay in one spot. That's totally up to you. But you just come up here, and as you can see, we have the clouds here to kind of just barely hinder your view. And you drop, and boom, bullseye, just like that. And next up, we're going to go to our Rothgar square. As you can see, we tried to make it a little bit snowy like Rothgar, a little bit of the orc architecture and stone areas here. And then we're going to pass by the go to jail square, and I'll come back to that at the end. And that brings us around to our last square that has an activity on it, and that's the Infinite Archives. So then we'll go to the Leyawiin square next. As you can see, we have kind of the Leyawiin structures, the castle look. And then we'll come to our last mini game. This game is also fairly easy. I'm going to pop up here, give you a look kind of at the board. I'll kind of roll around. You might be able to see it a little bit better from here. And the way this game works is there are 6 paintings up here, and you get to pick how many I take away. If you're still standing when I've removed the paintings, you win. If you've fallen, you lost. I just pop down here behind this door so I can't see where they are, and they get rewarded based on how many paintings they ask me to take away. And our last square here is kind of an Alinor and High Elf mix. Kind of tried to make it look nice as it's going to be the most expensive property on the board. So now we're going to circle back to our go to jail square. You just go up the stairs here, and then you're greeted by our friendly warden. And if you step right through, you'll be right on your way to jail. Better get comfortable there, though, because when we played, it's been a pretty popular spot. And there you go. That's Monopoly and ESO. I appreciate you coming and checking it out. Like I said, I'm going to throw up a picture or two from above with the best angles I could get. I know it's kind of hard with the way that the cameras work for ESO. But if anybody wants to try this for themselves and you need help with pricing or rules or advice, definitely feel free to reach out. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.